it's you! We were hoping you'd be by today. Come on in.
We have our second soap today from Chiseled Face.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays,
we are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, it's good to see you. Come on in. So for our mention today, we wanted to mention that today's soap is based on a literary work, and it's not our only one.
No.
We have one based on The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings.
Right.
There's based on Christmas Carol soaps. This one is based on the novels of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, based on Sherlock Holmes, and we are so excited. We'll talk about this a little bit later, but Sherlock Holmes, I have a weird eye imbalance, and reading is actually really tricky for me because my eyes do crazy, stupid things. But I had a paperback of A Study in Scarlet and the Sign of Four, and I was visiting my grandparents, and I decided I was a little bit of an insomniac. Let me just read a few paragraphs on the way to bed, right? Y'all, I finished the book. I stayed up until 6 in the morning, and I finished both novellas. And it's the only time I've ever done that. Ever in my life. So there is just something about Sherlock Holmes that just really speaks to me. So I am so excited because I know a lot about him, except what he smells like. What do you know about Sherlock Holmes?
Not too much. I know we've watched a few of the series here and there, but not enough to know the full perspective.
Cumberbatch on the BBC. If you haven't checked that out, you've got to. And funny, a Lord of the Rings connection there too, because the Watson played the character.
You're right.
So I'm so excited to learn what he might have smelled like. And Chiseled Face is quickly becoming one of our favorite new artisans. So hey, let's meet the soap. All right, so this is from the sales page at chiseledface.com.
Our Sherlock scent is inspired by the character brought to life by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle in his classic series, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, written in the late 1800s.
Oh, I'm excited. And, you know, one of the things,
That's all they say?
you haven't read a lot of the books. The cool thing that I like about the books is at the very beginning of almost every novel, they were sort of procedural, I guess.
Okay.
Somebody would inevitably ring the bell, and the lady downstairs who owned the place would let him in, and Sherlock would do this trick, where as soon as they walked in, he would go, "Oh, how was the weather in India?" And they'd be like, "What? How did you know that?" And Sherlock would say, "Oh, you went there to have your watch repaired, and while you were there, you had your suit hemmed." Right? And the guy would be like,
all the details?
What? Right? So that's what I loved, is that he would then immediately explain why he figured each thing out. And it was genius, and it was logical, and it was like, oh, of course, anybody should have seen that.
Right. But just
nobody
as
ever
observant.
does, right? Nobody ever looks that much deeper at any given situation, right? So that's what I loved. And it made me like look at life differently. It made me pay attention to details. It made me much better at inferring things. I think it was inductive reasoning. I don't think he was deducing. I think it was inducing. But it made me approach life differently.
Right,
these
just
books.
a genius way of like stepping back and looking at everything.
And I was a giant fan of magic, and he and Houdini were friends and sort of rivals their whole lives. So
I don't know.
Yeah, and they were kind of at odds because Conan Doyle was a giant spiritualist. He believed in all that crazy stuff, and Houdini was not. Houdini went around busting psychics right and left, right? So it was a friendship made in heaven as far as I'm concerned, and some of it made its way into the story. So I'm so excited. Let's unbox it. Along with Zingari Man and Holy Caw, this is one of the artisans that does their distribution partially on Amazon. So if you're a Prime member and you want to save a little on shipping, you could do a lot worse.
We have a few in here, so no peeking.
Okay, so what's in there? There it is.
Woo! Just simple black and white, but that points
classic,
a picture.
Dignified. Oh, love it.
And he's got his little magnifying glass. He's Mr. Sherlock for sure.
Knowing what I know about Sherlock, I hope there's a little tobacco in this because he was infamous for the pipe, right? And then maybe a little bit of leather from the patches on his coat, maybe.
Right, I remember a long coat that he was
something like that, but I have a feeling this is pretty beloved because its name echoes throughout the community. So I'm excited. Let's see what we can infer from our first impression. All right, I put my my book right there. All right, I think you should go first.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know Sherlock as much, but let's see.
Well, that's funny because I know the character well. You don't know him quite so well.
Right.
So you get to more take it in as just like
Right, I'm meeting him
soap,
for the
a
first
nice
time.
fragrance. Let's see what you
Yeah,
think.
you
Right.
might have something in mind already.
Yeah, we've met for sure.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, funny.
Oh, not quite what you were expecting, was it?
No, I don't know why. I was picturing it to be like more mature, a little elderly of a scent.
Oh.
But like when we watch the Cumberbatch movies, I think this is more like that age range.
Oh!
Does that make sense?
Younger Sherlock
I was
Holmes.
thinking like a little more, more mature for some reason. But no. I do get like the tobacco-y smoke going on.
Yeah, okay. Is it kind of more of a cologne-y thing?
It's just cleaner than I was expecting. I don't know why. I was just expecting, because like the movie's all filmed kind of dark and dingy, like kind of secret. Like
his apartment's always like notoriously cluttered
back alleys
and stuff,
are
right?
happening. It's always nighttime,
right.
But no.
Oh, I'm excited.
Okay, I am initially hit with the tobacco side, and then it cleans up. Maybe it's leather. I don't know. I'm trying not to look on the cover because I think there's words. But there's, and it almost it is more. Is attractive the right word?
Yeah.
Than I was expecting.
Why not? Benedict Cumberbatch is a nice looking guy,
I guess so. I don't know what. Yeah, but that's kind of fun to see. I'm curious what you get, but that was my first.
Okay, let me take this in. Oh, you're right.
You think?
Whoa. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
I mean, I get like Britain, London, like fog in the air, like a crispy clean, maybe?
Right.
Not like soapy clean.
Oh, it's beautiful. You're right. I was expecting this to be a swirl of darker spices, and there are a lot of soaps like that.
Right,
and
right.
I think that's why I kind of expected that. I don't think we've experienced the darker sort of sides in such a clean form.
Right, and
like
maybe
this
that's
before.
just because every time we get tobacco, it's usually connected with like a leather or a spice.
Right.
So I immediately was thinking, okay, like tobacco, it's more that zone. But it's actually a very clean.
It is, and it's the tobacco pipe like from across the room.
Yes, or it's like already been smoked, like it's the dried up ashes is what I'm getting.
I'm at first I thought like this is like a Sherlock barbershop because it is so clean, but then I realized no,
there's no powder.
there's nothing utilitarian about the barbershop in there. It's just the cleanliness, but. If that apartment had a smell, because it's cluttered, but I don't think it's dirty, right?
No, I mean, some things are kind of dusty, like they just haven't been wiped off,
like
but it's not
everything
gross.
in it is like teak wood and tobacco. It might have a nice smell to it, like already.
Especially things that have been in that room. If that's where he smokes, it kind of
So
stays.
this could have been called Sherlock's tchotchkes. This could have just been called like Sherlock's apartment, right?
His den or something. Yeah, I'm curious.
And they didn't live there together. Watson had his own place. I always forget that, but yeah, Watson.
But you always just would picture them in the room at the same time.
It's so not what I was expecting. I was expecting
way, though, right?
way more of a cologne.
Yeah.
This is a room. This is a room, y'all. So if you're fans like us of transportive soaps that take you to a place, this is what that apartment might smell like.
I don't picture Sherlock wearing a scent.
No. Oh, that's very...
Because as a detective, he'd want to
right.
get stuff around. He doesn't have time for the fruff and pretty. Like, he's on a mission.
Right.
Right?
He would reject... Yeah, if you've read the books, Sherlock would reject those kind of things. If he's like, have you tried this fine cologne?
No.
I don't have time for that.
Right. So that's what I mean. He's a man on a mission. He's not going to stop to smell good. That's just going to be his natural scent.
And in that spirit, boy, is this a home run. Because it doesn't at all smell like a cologne or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it does smell like a clean dude in a clean place. What else are you getting?
No, okay, so now if I go past...
Oh, pass me that lather bowl, because I'm curious to see what happens with this when we add a little air.
I do feel like there is a leather happening.
Yeah, okay.
You'd
but like a cleaner one, like a cashmere or a suede, maybe?
Right. Like a new jacket leather, not a...
Oh.
We have a funky bird sticking.
Boo. Okay. Oh, look at that. Y'all, beautiful. Right.
It's definitely masculine, which clearly is intentional, right? Like, I do get that masculine side to it. And how can it be a clean leather? Like, it's like a clean tobacco, clean leather?
I don't know how to describe it, y'all, but this base uses different ingredients. I'm not entirely sure how, but it's a much different texture, and I love it. It's a much different texture than I'm kind of used to, but I think that's cool, because it means this is going to be a formula that we haven't really discovered before.
It just
feels a little different in my fingers.
But Chiseled Face in general, or between that one and this one?
No, Chiseled Face in general.
Yes.
Yeah, the other Chiseled Face we did was Ghost Town Barber, and it had the same consistency.
Interesting, okay.
So I don't know.
I noticed when you were scooping into that it was kind of a softer kind of a vibe.
It's a little different. That's cool.
You know, it's funny. I'm curious what the lather does because it kind of stays the same scent off the puck. It doesn't, you know,
Yes.
sometimes like as you're whiffing, the scent goes up
Right,
or
right,
down,
right.
a little darker, kind of stays more cleaner. This one just kind of stays right in the middle.
Right.
So I am curious, once you lather this
Oh,
up.
I've got some answers for you already going on right now. Oh, yeah.
Wow,
and
okay.
this is Sarah's AKA Custom Molded
Yes.
Brush from Amelia and Gardner over
Got
at AKA
from my
Brushworks.
birthday, Marcus got it for me.
Oh, I'm already getting different
You
whiffs.
think?
I'm
Okay.
already getting different whiffs. And I almost want to say that there was I just got kind of a juniper hit. But I think that's just because I'm so used to like juniper smell in English sort of soaps.
Oh,
But
interesting. But that is used sometimes to make things cleaner.
it would be, right? Yeah. Yo, I am so impressed with this lather at Chiseled Face too. It's just beautiful stuff.
Right.
And just the shave I got from the other one was just
oh, I
beautiful.
forgot. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
have to steal this one for a shave.
Wow. Wow. This gets way more real and a little bit less cologne-y even. This is more of the room. This is more of Sherlock Holmes' apartment.
So, like, is there any woodsy going on?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Woodsy green. The tobacco is almost now a supporting player.
Oh, interesting.
This is rad.
Okay, let me
hold on,
try
smell
the
this. Yeah,
comparative whiff
The
here.
comparative whiff.
Let's see. Okay,
Yeah.
lock that one in.
Okay, now.
Oh, yeah, like this one's alive to me.
Right. Yes. Does
that make sense?
This is
like
the real place.
walking into the room and what's left in there. This is we are in the room having a conversation.
I
Things
almost
are
smell
happening.
the walls somehow. Like that's bananas, y'all.
Interesting.
What a beautiful, complex
And
journey
it's
this
actually
takes.
a
you on.
really nice intensity.
It is. Yeah, I'd put it at like a 3.5 out of 5.
Right. It's right in the middle, enough that I'm like, I'm getting a whiff. But if you were to use this, you would want to have the splash after to stay with you.
Right.
This is very like contained to here, which is different. Like some of the soaps you can really get the aura, but this one is like, it brings you in.
Right.
If
And
that makes sense.
some places when you think about how they smell, it's fine. But some places when you think about how they smell, you're like, oh, I just love to sit there and take it in. This turns that Sherlock townhouse idea into something that I just can't stop smelling. This is
No, and it's funny, like I know the lather is white, but I do get that like foggy gray, white clean
Yeah.
image. I know that's a London fog kind of thing,
Whoa.
but I don't know if that was intentional, but I that's like what I'm getting. Or like when you smoke a tobacco, like the smoke going by.
Is it
like there's something about that
possible
gray
to
kind
smell
of color.
overcast outside? This is it.
And in your jacket that has your tobacco
Smell
and
that.
your leather.
I don't know if it's weird that you could smell an overcast day.
But is that what you're getting?
Like maybe you just smell lack of sunlight on the ground kind of thing.
right, but there-
like
and-
a cool day. Yes, 100%, absolutely.
And you're wearing your jacket that has like you've smoked your tobacco in,
Right.
and the leather, but in the fog.
This is it. This really takes me there. How crazy.
I don't
didn't
know.
expect this to be this good.
We have
y'all.
not looked at the scent notes. Clearly, we were just guessing.
Oh, well, we've got some work to do. Bring them on.
I almost feel like we're cheating looking at these scent notes because Sherlock would want us to figure this out with a little more detective use. Maybe
Yes,
get our
Sherlock would be
magnifying
like,
glass.
You two are newbies. Come on, let me tell you what's in this, right?
Fail.
We have missed some things. Whoa!
Oh, that's a longer list than I was expecting.
Oh, okay, wait a minute.
Wow.
It is a warm tobacco-based scent. Okay, hold on.
I mean, yes.
And I love the word warm.
Warm.
That's it. It
I
does.
was getting the after kind of.
Yeah. But
In,
y'all,
in here is more the different ashy kind of scent.
look at my face. This tobacco is only about 20% of this scent. Would you
Yeah,
agree?
no, I would agree. It starts off the scent for me, and then it
Yeah.
disappears
So
into it.
It's there, but this is not a tobacco forward scent. So I thought it would be. It's not. And
But
I
they're
love that it's
saying
not.
base.
I love that it's not. Right.
So
right,
I get that. It starts part of there,
right.
and then
That's
it
what
just
grounds
disappears.
it. But none of this stuff
Whoa.
goes too light. All of it stays in the middle, and that tobacco is the only
Right, but
thing
then look at that next one.
Y'all, okay, hold on.
I would not
Hold
have
on.
guessed this.
Put your seatbelts on.
But I get it.
This is bananas. Okay, so toasted caramel.
That's how it doesn't get so dark.
Right.
That keeps
Right.
it in that warmer zone
And
for
it's
sure.
Toasted caramel, maybe a little bit smoky, right? Are you kidding
Yes.
me? And it's there.
But that
It's
blends the
beautifully
tobacco
there.
into it perfectly.
Yep. And then to keep it a little bit spicy, some black pepper.
Look at this next word.
This is why overcast. This is why
Yeah.
we could smell an overcast day, because the scent note itself is
Moist
dirt.
I know some people don't like the word moist.
What did
but
I
that's
say?
painting it
Oh yeah,
correctly.
moist is not a real thing.
Right, but
what did I
still.
say about how does an overcast day smell? Well, there's no direct sunlight
there's
on the
like
dirt
that
outside,
wetness
so
in the
it's going to
air.
stay moist. Ah, see, you can smell the overcast
Maybe we
day in this
were
thing,
kind of
y'all.
like Sherlock in that
I
one.
love this. Right, and then finished. with a touch of leather, moss. Mandarin.
See, again, how it's a clean scent.
Beautiful, beautiful. And then these last two. These are very Sherlock for me.
That's
honey
interesting.
and rose. Because honey goes in the tea, and rose is so British I can't see straight. So, like, you put those together. I love this.
That's how it's so clean at the end.
Right. Wow.
But it's a different clean.
Yes.
It is not a barbershop clean.
Right.
And it is not a citrus overload kind of clean or a cologne clean. It's its own natural, like, essence.
Yeah. And what I love best is that sometimes when I smell some of the other soaps, I'm like, oh, does this take me to a rock and roll club in Memphis? Yeah, I think so. But I'm a little protective over Sherlock Holmes.
Well, he sounds like an important character with
40
you.
40 years, right, reading and being, I mean, I'm not like a Baker Street, a regular or anything, but I spent 40 years really connected to him and those stories.
And then all the movies and everything else that keeps the story going.
What I love best is this goes beyond my wildest expectations as to what his townhouse might have actually smelled like.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
So while everything from those stories has filled my imagination over the years, I don't think anything in those books really drives the point home about how it all smelled.
Well, and especially the first time you read it, if you were younger,
right?
It would have been hard to come up with what tobacco smelled like, or some of those other things.
Right.
You wouldn't have had that like mentality, you know.
It's just so fun that these folks are able to take these set notes and create for me some missing piece of my childhood,
Bring
some
your character
missing
to life.
piece of these stories, right? Because I know what they would have felt like. I know
Right.
what they sounded like.
how
I
they
know what
thought.
they looked like.
Right.
They didn't know what it smelled like. Oh, I'm so excited.
So, and then
to
look
have
on
this in the
here.
cabinet.
It says tobacco, leather, earth, and pepper.
Yeah.
That's how they narrow
yes.
it down.
If I had to pick out the starring players in that list, that's where I'd go.
To smell it here, and I do get that a little bit more of
Just
the
get
earthy
a tiny
pepper.
bit more floral in that, even though I know there's not floral.
Right, and
in
I get more of like the pepper. Now that I know what I'm smelling, I thought it was more of like the tobacco ash going on.
And you know it's a great soap when you start to actually wonder, hey, what would this smell like in a splash? I bet it's awesome, right? Because they're a little bit different. The Ghost Town Barber Splash is one of my most coveted splashes already. So
Now
I think
we're
we
feeling
might
sad you
need to
didn't
pick
get it.
this one up next time I order from Amazon. And sometimes I find Sherlock Holmes in the most unlikely of places. Let's take this a little bit deeper. All right, y'all. So, have you ever seen the TV show House with Hugh Laurie? Right? Again, another British guy, but he's got probably the best American accent I've ever heard faked on television, right? So, I was about a year into House, and something about it was vaguely familiar to me. Like, just little things. And I was like, huh.
Wait, what?
And then I saw him go home, and he walked into his apartment at 221 Baker Street. In fact, 221B. Baker Street, which is
apartment.
Sherlock Holmes' address. And suddenly just something went click.
Duh.
And I realized, wait a minute. Holmes had Dr. Watson. House has Dr. Wilson. Holmes was addicted to cocaine and heroin, and House has his Vicodin problem through the entire series. Wait a minute. Holmes played the violin. House plays the piano.
Right.
House has to figure out what diseases these
Like
people
in
have.
bodies.
And Holmes had to figure out what crime was being committed. And then the biggest epiphany of all, it's Sherlock Holmes and Dr. House. And I never made the connection until
Do
then.
they both carry a cane?
Oh, right. And they both walked. Yeah, it goes
Little
on and on.
things.
It goes on and on. In fact, the final episode of House is like literally page for page the last Sherlock Holmes story. So like,
Go watch it.
whoa,
If
yo!
you know you're Sherlock, go watch House.
So if you had caught on to that, like me, I'll put it in the comments. And if this is a giant epiphany for you too, you
welcome.
got a new series to explore. Go back and rewatch
Right,
House.
go get your own episode.
And this could be what Dr. House smells like.
I was just
That is
thinking that.
this modern of a scent.
It is very versatile as a scent, I feel like.
Oh, man.
You know, that this time of year, that winter kind of fog in the air, it completely fits.
And guys, probably this is, I'd say 65, 70% clean.
Yep.
And 30% spicy and fun.
Agreed.
Like, so, yeah, this was
Agreed.
not what I was expecting.
No, but I love
again,
being surprised.
I'm so glad it's not, because I was nowhere near as good in my imagination as what this turned out to be in real life.
And I totally see why we see this go by in all the shave of the days all the
Yeah,
time,
you
because
see it a lot.
it is a good scent. And I do feel like you could use it a lot more.
Right.
Like, it doesn't have to be winter, it just oddly fits right now. But
Right.
this would be a great one when it's actually hot in the summer, that you'd want to escape to that foggy London kind of vibe.
So it's pretty simple. All you have to do is be a starship captain in somewhere in the near 24th century. And when you and your friends are ready to play a little dress up and pretend, you're going to go into the holodeck. But you're going to get trapped because when Moriarty comes to life and you're not expecting it, you, Sherlock, just got your own. So head over to chiseledface.com where you'll find this and all kinds of other cool stuff. He never said elementary, my dear Watson, apparently. Anyway, I was talking to somebody about this after the review. I usually write to a few friends and say, oh man, here's what we shot today. It was amazing. And so they wrote back and said, yeah, that smells like a rich man's library. Yo, it does! There are so many cool things that this smells like that are not in your normal shaving soap family, at least not for us after 200. I mean, a Sherlock study, a rich man's library, and the earth, the soil note in this kills me because it is just so beautiful and bright and clean and dirty all at the same time and keeps the mystery alive in this. Hey, and I am just getting to know this base. It's a fantastic base. It's fluffy but sticky and thick on my face. Oh, and it makes my razor just fearless to do certain things down here that it wouldn't normally have done. And I had no weepers on this. So Chiseled Face. I understand Summer Storm is a good one. Hey, Sarah, turn on the laptop.
Welcome to Messages!
Hey, y'all, it's time to select our Chiseled Face winner. If you are in the United States or Canada, you get a Chiseled Face soap from Amazon.com. Otherwise, you get a $20 Amazon gift card. So you can get one where you are. So is it time?
It is. Thank you to everyone that emailed us and followed all the directions. Yes. You made the list, so good luck.
We got 10 emails. 10 of y'all's names are here. So I'm going to ask, Alexa, give me a number between 1 and 10.
Here's a number between 1 and 10. It's 3.
3. 1, 2. Brian Moore, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations, Mr. Moore. You have procured yourself a Chiseled Face soap of your choice from Amazon.com. Thank you all so much for participating in our giveaway. We're going to have another one soon. And thank you for being a part of our Barbershop Duet family.
We'll email you right away, Brian.
One of the most unexpected delights I think we've done so far. This is nowhere near anywhere close to what I would have dreamt up.
Right?
But I'm so glad they did.
And it fits perfectly with our classic aftershave month. I can't get over it. Like this type of that fun, clean, rocky kind of smell.
And y'all, it's just, I guess what I love best, it's not a cliche. It could have very easily been a scratch and sniff cliche Sherlock Holmes scent of just throw some tobacco on some leather and call it a day. But no, that's not what happened here, y'all. This is a much more descriptive, much more beautiful, much more transportive soap. And it leaves you guessing a little bit on what else might be going on in this place.
And I feel like on the day what you're wearing, you may get more of the rose or you may get more of that honey side. Like other parts really might come out. Maybe more in the splash. We'll be getting that soon.
Maybe. But for sure, it whisks you away to a beautiful shadowless, overcast day on Baker Street, and you can hear the violin up in the window. It's just masterful, y'all.
It's kind of good we didn't finish watching the series, because now we're going to have this to smell as we go back and watch it.
I don't think I'm going to be able to wait till summer to do Summer Storm, because everybody says to do that one next.
Just know what you think. Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
Elementary. You'll smell better just watching this.